Janet. Nice to meet you.
I said it every day.
I have only one poem that's going to be talking about moons in this collection. And I do have something where I mentioned Pluto in another poem if you wanted to hear it later. Just, although I said Pluto, whatever. This first poem was written on July 9th, which was the day that Saturn was closest and brightest to Earth, because Saturn was opposite the Sun as seen from Earth. I mentioned that in another thing about seeing Saturn. So this is something I wrote called Vastness of just the right moon. Some may say they're in love with our moon. It locks our tides and regulates our weather. This conglomeration of a rock that was once derived by a collision into Earth Mach 1. This moon is the only interstellar object humankind has walked on. But really, when it comes to love affairs with the moon for the astronomy-minded types like me, we still have to fall for Saturn's moon, that most closely resembles Earth during its origins in our solar system. Titan is the largest moon of Saturn and the only moon known with a dense atmosphere. Saturn's climate, which has wind and rain, creates dunes, rivers, lakes, seas, and deltas. Is this starting to sound more like Earth? And it may be one reason why NASA, just this past day, shared news of NASA's Dragonfly mission to search for life on Saturn's moon Titan. Good thing I saw this news on the same day that Saturn is closest and brightest to Earth, opposite the Sun as seen from Earth, making tonight what they call a full Saturn. Wow, this means that tonight is the night I have the unique opportunity to see a different moon, one orbiting with the rings of one of the most majestic planets, the only moon that shares so much history, that shares so much of a story like our own home. And when you're looking across the vastness of outer space, finding something out there that's so much like your own planet's story, well, that has to put a twinkle in your eye, and it reminds you how easy it is to fall in love. Writing lots of calendar things, and I don't have a copy of the cover with me, but on suggestions, it's hard to be able to see it here. I've been writing things for different things, dates of the year, and instead of being one volume, it will be two every event of the year with different events and things going through the year. And I hope in the next week that book will be out, and I will share it with you guys in the next month or two or whatnot. But this is something that I believe might be in it, and there's a poem called Vexing, and it was written on May 17th, which was written on the day in 1878 that the last witchcraft trial was held in the United States. Begins in Salem, Massachusetts. Right about now, so many years ago, a righteous Christian woman accused a man of vexing her because he was putting a spell on her, harming her through his mental powers, which started a trial marking the beginning of the last trial in Salem about witchcraft. She was a Christian Science woman, no less, where a woman thought if men stared at them for too long, get them back by saying that they were practicing witchcraft, because it couldn't be anything else. I suppose it's fun looking back on U.S. history and seeing such a clash of ignorant beliefs. I know the Salem witch trials went on before the U.S. became the U.S., but the last witch trial was in Salem, and it just makes me think that history repeats itself if people don't care to learn and people don't care to listen. Because if men are staring at me, and I'm not backward enough to call their acts an act of witchcraft, I just chalk their ignorance to cultural difference when in a foreign land, or else I chalk it up to the ever-prevalent sexism rampant in our world, and then I rise above, learn, and move on. I can tell you what it was written for. It was written on June 25th, which is the calendar day that George Michael was born, and the day that Michael Jackson passed away. Happened to both days. So this is why I wrote this, called Voice and Word. I always thought I knew what I wanted. When you're young, you get this image in your head of being adored by everyone. And even if I was too young to know my talent, this desire took over my soul. And now everywhere I go, I can take the stage and astonish anyone with all the notes I hit and all the words I speak. And after a set, people would call me, or would tell me that I remind them of Janis Joplin. And people would come to me and tell me that my words changed their actions and changed their lives. I had done it. People loved listening to the sound of my voice. I had made a difference. I had made a difference in people's lives, so I don't know why I now feel like nothing is ever enough. After a few life-rattling, life-threatening events in my life, I could not shake the pain, so I tried to use this pain to share my work, and the masses appreciated it, but I think in the end they were all just tired of the sob stories and wanted it to only be entertained. You tell me I have talent, and I do, but I am not your plaything, and I don't want to be a corporate puppet. Let me have my respite from hunters who want to turn my talent into nothing. And after I'm gone, try to remember my voice, my words. Thank you.